Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows Eminem's Houdini has now reached a new peak on US radio, and a few hours ago it even went #1 on the rhythmic radio, and we'll expand on this in a bit. And we also got to hear from Jelly Roll in a recent interview where he spoke about what it was like working with Eminem on this new album. And speaking on Eminem, a snippet from popular YouTuber Dontai hit social media a few hours ago, his reaction to bars on Lucifer that's got the timeline buzzing on Twitter, and we'll get to more on this in a moment. Today we also have more from the chart battle between Kanye and Taylor Swift for this week's #1 album on Billboard, as shortly before the end of the tracking week, they literally went band for band when it comes to album bundles. And speaking on Kanye, he cried foul a few hours ago and revealed why his new album could get pulled from DSPs, a move that he blamed on being independent, and we'll get to this later. And today we got one that shows Nicki Minaj seemingly fire shots at her younger sister Ming Lee that's got social media in shock right now. And it is at a point where some of her biggest fans on Twitter have reportedly been blocked by Nicki Minaj over some of the comments they made about this drama with her sister. But contrary to what the Barbs think on social media, Envy and Charlamagne believe Nicki Minaj was spitting some facts when she seemingly dragged her sister, and we'll get to this later. And I believe it depends on your culture and country of origin, and depending on that, some may find it distasteful and others may find it 100% on point. And we also have one that sparked a hilarious debate on social media when Lil Yachty asked Joe Budden straight to his face if he thinks he could hang with him verse for verse if they were to drop a song today. And starting with Eminem's Houdini, it recently hit a new milestone on US radio. Check it out. Eminem's Houdini is now #1 on US rhythmic radio, media base, real time. And if you were wondering what rhythmic radio is about, it is a radio format that includes a mix of hip-hop, upbeat R&B, pop, and EDM. And on pop radio in the United States, Houdini has now climbed into the top 10, and overall on US radio, the song has now entered the top 20, so it is certainly a slow burner on US radio after all. And if all of this happened on its first week of release, Houdini would have certainly peaked at #1 instead of #2 in the United States. And moving on, a snippet from popular YouTuber I'm Still Dontai made its way to Twitter. It goes, Dontai reacting to Eminem's Gene Scheme on Lucifer is a classic, loudly crying emojis.
Genius is a trait, so the gaps in our genes, right?
My genius is a trait, so the gaps in our... Oh my God, the gaps in our genes. The gaps in our genes, right? The gaps in our genes, right?
At least that's what it seems like.
At least that's what it seems like. Seamstress, seems like. Seamstress, seems like. This nigga's cooking. My God, I can't. Oh God.
And just so you know, this is what he thinks about Eminem.
Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest rapper ever can literally outrap. If we're talking lyric wise, I don't care how you feel, bro. I don't care what you gotta say. If we're talking lyrics, if we're talking bars, he will literally wrap circles around your favorite artist. I don't give a goddamn, bro. Shut the fuck up. Damn, bro, shut the fuck up.
And remember, a rap album with this level of rapping that King Crooked described as, "It is good to hear my body marshal rhyming at a level even higher than before," is considered a bad rap/hip hop album, according to quote professional music critics. And back to the rhyme scheme about gap in jeans, Nicki Minaj recently went on a whole rant about this when she seemingly called out her sister for speaking on her name in interviews like this.
What was life like for Amin growing up?
It was kind of hard, and I used to be bullied a lot for it because people used to say like, oh, if this person was your sister, why did she do this for you? Why did she do that for you? At a young age, it's like you don't know how to answer questions like those. I never needed her to help me get to my goal. I just needed her to see that I can do it and she can be proud of me without having to think that I needed to have an easy way to get to the top. I used to have this urge of just trying to like impress my sister. I'm not gonna lie, I always had this urge to impress her.
So what's your current relationship with Nicki?
We was never close. She was like always like busy. She be busy and stuff like that. I be doing my too. Like, even though people do think that like we are not cool, we're gonna argue. I'm not gonna lie, me, like my sister do be getting mad at me. But this is nothing new. Like, siblings gonna fight.
People were saying that y'all look just alike. Do you think you guys look like twins?
I'm not gonna lie. Okay, wait.
Do the face. Let me see you. Let me see you do a face. Let me see you do the face. Hey!
We have the same dad. She was a good sister. Like, she did check up on me, my dad, from time to time. Like, she always made sure that we was like at least good situated in a way. I don't have no hate towards her.
Do you think that like Nicki may be trying to protect you from like the bad side of the music
Absolutely.
industry?
And Nicki via station head went off a few hours ago on this topic.
Why would a person speak on a person they love? Why would a person speak openly about a private person? Why would a person do that? Why would a person do that? Who would you speak about in your interviews if someone wanted to interview you? Yourself, right? It's always a bad sign if a person who's not even in your line of work or who has never been successful in your line of work is doing interviews with people in your line of work. Like, I think y'all think talent, like you could catch it like a cold, or maybe people could pass it through the genes. Even with blood relation, what God has given to me is mine. You have to go and get your own. You have to discover whatever it is that you're great at. Being a mooch and a clown don't run in my DNA.
However, Nicki going off on her sister has sparked confusion for some users who were wondering her little sister didn't say nothing wrong. I'm confused. And apparently this Nicki Minaj fan got blocked by Nicki for this take a few hours ago. Nicki need to delete station head and all her social media, scrap the leg too, and go on a 6-month to 1-year hiatus, then come back with new music, new management team, new stylist, new makeup artist, good promo, and tour dates in Africa, Asia, Mexico. And Nicki reportedly had it up to here with this user for this suggestion. However, Envy and Charlemagne look to be with Nicki Minaj on this one, and something tells me it is because they can relate to what Nicki is saying based on how their own family members see them. Check out a snippet from The Breakfast Club.
Just because I'm successful and I'm doing well doesn't make it seem like that you are. You still have to put in the work, the time, and the energy, and do your own due diligence.
Proximity to talent means nothing. Proximity to people with gifts means nothing. You have to find your own way. You have to find your own blessings and gifts. There was a time when Nicki's sister tagged us all and she said she wanted to come to Breakfast Club to tell her story.
Yes.
And I remember all of us collectively said, well, what does she do? Like, we're not going to bring her up here to just
because she's
discuss
Nicki's
Nicki.
sister, right?
Yeah, that don't make any sense.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, Nicki's right.
But what are your thoughts? And I know this depends on cultural background, as in some cultures, the suggestion that a younger sibling stand on their own when you're super successful could get you excommunicated from the family. But the same doesn't apply in most Western countries. What are your thoughts? And moving on, Joe Budden and Lil Yachty recently had an interesting conversation on the Full Send podcast, and this segment got many hip-hop fans triggered on Twitter.
You think right now, if me and you went in and Joe, you could pen a better verse than me?
Well, who's picking the beat?
Obviously not you.
All right.
I'm not gonna let you pick the beat.
Sound like a hoop mixtape.
If you pick the beat, it's gonna sound like NBA Street Volume 2.
Yeah, but when you pick the beat, it's gonna sound like when the Nintendo game is up
Yeah.
too, and now you got to find some whole new pocket
Yeah,
that the 2035 crowd is going to be into.
I'm a dust off
And then I
one of
gotta
my
sing-
good.
No, we match.
Then I
we
got to
price
sing
match
some
over here.
shit.
I can work on anything. I'm gonna push off one of my
If you give me one of them Metroid beats, then you will have the
No,
best verse.
I'm gonna dust off one of my
If
Alchemist
I
beats.
could get to Alchemist,
I'm gonna dust off one
He's
of my
done. If
Alchemist beats.
I'm not even dignifying this. Now the baton's getting rough. I would do it for fun because I'm retired. If I were not retired, just the thought of this would be an insult to me.
Yeah.
Yes, on an Alchemist beat,
insult?
yeah, I wouldn't even allow it.
And this sparked reactions like Yachty even thinking that he could match Joe Budden in bars in any capacity is what is wrong with hip-hop today. I at least thought the newer dudes knew they can't actually rap, but who cares, cause people like these songs. Yachty thinking he has bars is extremely concerning, and boy, hip-hop heads look to be insulted right now. Yachty thinking he can out-rap Joe Budden is insulting to my own intelligence, but generational bias aside, does anyone actually think Lil Yachty could hang with Joe Budden? Please explain why in the comment section. And moving on, before we get to the drama between Kanye and Taylor Swift, including some allegations from Kanye aimed at Atlantic Records, Jelly Roll was recently on PMS Live, and he was asked about his experience meeting with and working with Eminem. And check out a snippet of how it went.
I saw a tweet from you, I think a couple weeks ago when the Eminem album came out. What was it like kind of being in the studio with him? He is such an icon for such a long time. How has that experience helped you recording your future music?
It's really cool. I actually didn't get there when we recorded. This is Inside Baseball. I wasn't there when he recorded the record, but we'd sent the record over and he'd sent it back whenever he had finished it. But when we finally got to meet, the first time I met him, I talked so much I had to tell him I was sorry I was talking so much.
Yeah.
You ever been that nervous that you finally just admitted you're like, I'm sorry, I'm just talking too much.
Yeah. Feels like I've
But he was
dominated this conversation. That's it. Next time maybe we'll learn something about you. Yeah, got it. Yeah.
And I was just so nervous, and he's so like naturally stoic. Like Marshall's like stoic like that, like in real life. He's funny though. He's real funny, but it's like that real kind of, that different kind of funny. So it was really cool, man. It was one of those things where I met my hero and I wasn't disappointed.
Okay, speaking of your hero being Marshall, which is cool. That's got to be cool you're on that.
Mm-hmm.
Marshall. I just hit up Marshall.
Yeah, no big deal.
But now at this point, it feels like you've probably met everybody and everybody's a fan of yours.
And moving on, in the hours leading up to the end of the sales tracking week in the United States, fans witnessed Kanye and Taylor Swift go band for band, as seemingly in response to Kanye dropping new deluxe versions. This happened. Taylor Swift just released 4 new versions of her album, seemingly in response to Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign dropping 4 new versions of Vultures 2 today.
We could go bang for bang. No, we can go bang for bang. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean? We can go bang for bang.
And the new versions from Kanye are now sold out according to reports that sparked reactions like 5 deluxe already? Damn, Kanye Swift. And while we wait to see who actually came out on top, Kanye reportedly revealed that he's getting shafted because he's independent right now. And we got to find out about this from IG Stories. Co-head of Atlantic, Julie Greenwald, she just got fired. She said the new head is not gonna give us a grace period to handle Atlantic's compensation. She suggested I let Lost and Create know that 40% of all revenue from Vultures 1 and 2 be paid to Atlantic. She's saying that if we don't handle immediately, Atlantic will issue takedowns for both albums. Please advise. And Ye added the caption, this is what they do to independent artists. But apparently, Ty Dolla $ign is still signed to Atlantic, so this is quite complicated. But over to you guys, share your thoughts below in the comment section. Thanks for watching and see you on the next one.